He appears out of nowhere. You've always wondered who's behind the mask.
Still making whoppers on your own time?
Yeah, when I have the time, which I actually have a lot of right now.
Take us back, say, 10 years. You're on the top of your game. You and Ronald battling it out for fast food supremacy. Burger King.
Well, what can I say? I was on the top of my game. I was rolling in the riches. I was making it rain. Until the company decided to dabble into the coffee market.
Wake up with BK Joe. 100% Arabica beans. Decaf, regular, and turbo strength for you, sleepyhead. New BK Joe. Wide awake with the king.
That proved to be my undoing. It affected my work habits, my social life, and even my sex life. The BK Joe, it had to go. I went through some tough times after that.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
I'd hit rock bottom. The company didn't want me. My family didn't want me. Even passing cars didn't want me to squeegee for them. Wendy left me for another redhead. It was terrible.
Burger was always a unique child. Right from the birth, we knew he was special.
I'm sorry, Mrs. King, but your son, Burger, seems to have an abnormally large head, and a permanent smile fused onto his plastic face. He's the happiest baby we've ever seen.
Is that all?
I'm afraid there's one more thing. It may explain why the birth was so painful. He has a crown attached to his scalp.
I was devastated. And not because my child resembled a doll-like being. I was worried about how the children would treat and react to little Burger. Would they accept his happy face and his obsession with fast food?
All right, back up.
Yes!
Top ball. Claire. Hannah. Angie.
Oh, damn it.
Every day he would come home from school in tears, crying to me of how he had been picked last again for dodgeball. I didn't know what I could possibly do to help, but constantly his head was covered in bumps and bruises from such unethical play. In high school, we thought things would improve, that all the teasing and bullying would be behind him. And even though that didn't happen, Berger found his place with the calf ladies.
I've never seen such impressive chopping skills.
He managed to develop superb cooking techniques in home ec. He graduated at the top of his class and won a reward for his creation, the Whopper. It's delicious. I understand that you were in a relationship with Wendy during your high school years.
Ah, yes, Wendy. I never met someone who shared such a love for burgers as I did. Hers were square, mine were round, but it didn't matter. She had the most gorgeous red hair and freckles. It reminded me of ketchup.
69 euros. Yeah, that's like around, considering my headband is from Players. That's right, I want to wear a ring. Yeah, I'm wearing a ring. Should be. I'm trying to stray away from measures and races, so I want to get less.
We kept things quiet and dated throughout high school. We ended up going to the same culinary college and fell completely in love.
How was college for you? Did things improve for you socially?
Oh yeah, college was great. I felt like I was finally being accepted by my peers. We were all sort of freaks in a way, I guess. But we all shared the same dream, to share delicious food with the world.
And this is where you met Ronald, correct?
Ah, yeah. Ronald was my roommate freshman year. And, well, we were good buddies, you know. We graduated together. We were on the dean's list and everything. He dated Dairy Queen for the duration of college, and Wendy and I would go on double dates with them. Fun stuff like that. Usually, Ronald and I would make the girls dinner, and they'd provide the dessert. Wendy lay low with her creation of the Frosty, but Dairy would go all out, adding all these crazy treats to what she called the Blizzard. She'd always have a real knack for dessert.
So what happened between you and Ronald?
After we graduated, he started hanging around with this new group of kids, the Hamburglar and this purple dude. I didn't like them one bit, and things really started to go downhill between us because of it. We shared an apartment, and he'd always have them over for these parties. Drove me up the wall. One night, I came into my room and saw Hamburglar going through my desk. I caught him red-handed with my coveted recipe for the Whopper clenched in his gloved hand. I may have looked happy, but inside I was fuming. I yelled at him, "You really are the Hamburglar!" I threw him out onto the street, along with the rest of Ronald's friends.
And that didn't sit well with Ronald, I presume.
Of course not. The next day, we got into a huge fight, and he packed up his things and left. The next time I saw him was 5 years later at the annual fast food conference down in Kentucky. Sanders was hosting it that year. By that time, we had both hit it big.
And how exactly did you hit it big?
There was this organization called The Company. They were interested in my creation of the Whopper. They offered me a lot of money to buy the recipe. They also figured that since I was, well, Burger King, and the restaurant sold, well, burgers, that my name would be a suitable title for the restaurant. By this time, since I figured I had sold out this much already, that I would be the mascot too. Thus started my career in television.
New, the meat-normous omelet sandwich. Meat on top of meat on top of meat. Wake up with the
Starring in these commercials and selling his recipe to the company, skyrocketed Burger King into the world of fast food supremacy. He continued to improve upon his Whopper recipe and was constantly thinking of new additions to his menu. He worked late into night almost every day and would have to arrive early every morning to help serve breakfast. These long hours started to take a toll on him. He began to rely on food and drink with high sugar and caffeine content in order to escape from the trials of late-night food creation. Once the company introduced BK Joe, it was all over for the king. So if you could take it all back, would you?
My life has been full of ups and downs. Every moment, a learning experience. If I'd known the effect that the BK Joe would have on me, I would have never taken my first sip.
Express yourself. Express yourself. You don't never need help from nobody else. All you got to do now, express yourself. Whatever you do, do it good. Whatever you do, Lord, Lord. Do it good. Oh yeah. It's not what you look like when you're doing what you're doing. It's what you're doing when you're doing what you look